How's it going, guys? JP here, and welcome back to 7 Days of Horror, where we take 7 horror films and watch and review them over the course of 7 days. All 7 of these films have some sort of common theme or common element to them. This time, for this edition, we are talking about foreign horror films. Basically anything that was produced outside the United States. And for day number 6, I decided to review a film by the director Tom Six, and it is The Human Centipede First Sequence from the year 2009, with a tagline of 100% medically accurate. This film comes to us out of the Netherlands, and it follows 2 tourist American girls as they're making their way through Germany. They have some car trouble one late night. It's raining. They really don't know how to fix it. They don't have any cell service. After a old creepy guy pulls up and starts making very inappropriate gestures and things to them, they get a little creeped out and they decide to walk through the woods. There, they eventually run into a house where there is a German guy there who has these weird paintings of like Siamese twins and stuff on the walls. He gives off a very creepy vibe right away. Soon they realize they are in trouble when they have some sort of spiked water. They, some kind of rape drug, like some kind of roofie. They wake up. They find out that this guy is some sort of doctor, mad scientist, if you will, who plans to sew them mouth to rectum and make this weird sort of monster, this human centipede. And that's pretty much your story. Now, when they first meet this guy, well, let me back up a bit. At the very beginning, this film feels like a very bad, cliched horror film. When I first seen it, I was like, what is this? These characters are very bad with their acting. They're, no cell service. They decide to walk through the woods instead of taking the road, and I'm like, this is just some cliched, overhyped horror film. Of course, I didn't think that at the time because I didn't know anything about this. I know that it got overhyped for a lot of people, but my very first viewing, I didn't know about the hype. But basically, I was just thinking, like, it feels like this is going to be a bad movie. And once they get to the house, it quickly drops that. And I always felt the beginning to be very weird and just not like the rest of the film. It's very separate from the rest of the film because the bad acting and the poor character decisions and stuff, it just feels like a cliched bad horror movie. But it quickly turns away from that once they get in the house. And when you see the German doctor who is just stone cold serious and has this aggressive nature to him, this very mean-spirited, underlining sense to him, I find his performance to be very creepy. And there's a moment when you just know that something's wrong when you first see this guy, and the characters soon realize that too, but after they really fully understand the situation, it's too late. So this film, I just find it, I know a lot of people think that it's overhyped and that it's doesn't really show anything, and it really wasn't that bad and stuff, but to me it was really effective. The moment when you see the human centipede, it leaves you just feeling disgust. Like, this guy is completely insane, and it is really just it's a sad day for mankind, basically, is what you look at. This is one of us. This is a human. This guy, this human being, this man has done this. And you almost feel like you're somehow connected to him just because he's a human being. And when there's really not a whole lot of gore in this. There's not a whole lot of the idea is that he feeds one and the food gets transferred through the other because how they're sewn together. And you expect to maybe it to go too far with that, but I think they keep it very serious, and I've heard people say that that part is funny, and I just don't see it. It just is completely, disgusting, and it's the characters just feel so degraded and humiliated. It's actually hard for me to watch a little bit, and you get this sense of shame from the head of the Centipede, which I thought was brilliant to take the non-English speaking character. It's a Japanese man, and make him the head of the Centipede, because it causes this this chaos and this they're not able to communicate, and it makes for just a worse situation than a bad situation just makes it completely worse. And it feels like it was a good idea to do that. It really creates this kind of dilemma. Man, I don't know. I think this film ends. I heard people talk bad about the ending, but I think it ends well. It's a very downer. This film's a downer. It's not a happy film at all anywhere through it. And honestly, I don't see any comedy in this film at all. I think people, I just don't get when people say that it's funny or whatever. I don't feel like this film was just to shock. I believe it was marketed that way, which was smart, but I don't feel like this one was just, shock for shock's sake. I do feel that this film was, pretty well done, aside from the beginning acting. I thought that the creepy mad scientist character was absolutely perfect, and the idea that he's taken here isn't the idea itself. I mean, that's a big part of it, but I think if you would have took any idea and done it with this scientist, it still would have been a similar film. I don't think that this film is only successful on doing something weird and creepy and shocking. I think that the mad scientist thing can translate into many different areas, many different concepts and things, and we've seen it done before. But I think that a lot of people think that is all this film has going for it, is this extreme human centipede thing, and I think you could have replaced the human centipede thing with any other type of experiment, and I still think this film would have been pretty effective in terms of performance from the Mad Doctor, and I don't know. I really don't know what I'm trying to say with this one. I feel like I need to defend this film because I hear so many people talk bad about it and talk the sequel up so high, and I don't even like the sequel, to be honest. I've not watched it all the way through, but I felt like that film was just trying to be shocking, and I feel like Tom Six kind of lost what this film originally was. Anyway, I give this film a 8 out of 10. I actually really enjoy it. That's kind of a bad way to say it. I don't enjoy this film. It's not something I want to watch for fun. But any film that can make me feel the feelings that I get when I'm watching this, it got to be doing something right. It's not supposed to make you feel good about things. It's supposed to make you see this terrible side of humanity and make you really hate this character. And I will say that it was slightly less effective than it was the first time I watched it. I could not stop thinking about it for the next couple days, and it kind of made me depressed the first time I watched it. I don't think that's going to happen this time. Anyway, long ass review. Sorry about that. See you guys next time. Peace.